Oh, crap, dude.
Wait, what?
It's trash night.
That's so stupid.
Trash night.
That's
It's the name of the game now, kid.
We're doing
trash night.
We're doing trash night on actual trash night
tonight. It's trash night tonight.
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Yeah.
That's our trash night.
Sir, what's been moving you, bro, lately? My acting teacher used to say this. We'd walk into class. He'd look at me and be like, Sean, what's moving you? And then what that means is what's motivating you, man? What's getting you through the day? It can be a small thing. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It could be I had a killer cup of coffee today or whatever. So what's moving you, bro?
Interesting. You know what's funny? The first thing that came to my mind when you said that was saying no to people.
Preach.
I don't know why that was the first thing that came to my mind, but I'm hitting a stride right now where I'm biting off more than I can chew.
Yeah.
And I think what's making me feel really good right now is just starting to say no to stuff.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time passing up because music is like how I make my income.
Yeah.
I have a hard time passing up on opportunities where, I could be a little more comfortable with my income, but it's not worth my mental health, man. So that's what's moving.
Do you feel like your mental health is suffering right now?
When I get into these states, yeah, I think I just feel spread too thin between too many different things. And then I can't give my best to all of them.
Right.
I don't have that capability. So I'm definitely at the point where, once I have to start rescheduling things 2-3 times, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Good
to recognize that. A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
So
what about you?
That's good. What's moving me? I've been taking better care of my health lately. I've been eating better, locking in on the diet, and I've been feeling good. Dude, it's funny. Like, I don't mind sharing this kind of crap because who knows who it could help. But I used to be very sweaty. I would get my pits, especially, would be like very sweaty.
Sure.
And over the last couple of weeks, I've been really strict about eating a whole foods diet, plant-based for the most part. I haven't really been cooking with any oil. I've been kind of doing no oil and stuff and just really keeping it raw and healthy and, still getting my protein and stuff. People that's like, you can't get protein on a plant-based. That's nonsense. But I've been keeping it healthy. I feel good. And I haven't been sweating, bro. I haven't been pouring sweat.
Interesting.
Maybe it's the dairy that it's just, I don't know, bro. But I feel excellent and I'm not sweating like a pig.
That's great.
So, yeah,
I'm happy for you, dude.
Yeah, I'm happy for me too.
Yeah. Who knows, man?
So.
That's great. Anyway.
Sweat. What are we talking about today? Can I bring us in? Let me bring us in real quick. We're having a little ethical debate. We're talking about ethics. You might have studied ethics in school. I took an ethics class in high school, and I remember learning about some of this stuff. But we're going to talk about some ethical problems, some ethical stances, and some morality stuff. And we're just going to kind of freeball our thoughts. But I was looking up some stuff, and one of the main pillars of philosophy and stuff always is John Stuart Mill and his stance on utilitarianism, which is essentially the right action or whatever is, you want to maximize overall happiness for the greatest number of people, the greatest good for the greatest number of people.
Okay.
Which I think as a society, we function pretty well when we operate from a utilitarian standpoint. The greatest good for the greatest number. Yeah.
Yeah. And
you see it in public policy and stuff like that. But yeah, I dig utilitarianism.
Yeah. It's a good concept. I think it's, once we get into some of these other ones, you can see why it's difficult to execute utilitarianism sometimes. Our next one is deontology. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And the core idea here is morality is all about following duties and rules, not outcomes. Pretty interesting. To think that your morality is in the work, not the fruit of the labor, right?
Right. I think more when it talks about laws and stuff and rules, like Immanuel Kant, the Kant kind of mentality is, it's you got to think of it as a universal law almost. Like what would universally be a rule or a law? I mean, because I think some countries, some rules and laws. Remember when we did the freaking worst laws or the craziest laws?
Yeah.
Like that doesn't really make sense. But like, what is a fundamental thing that, should be a universal law? Like, how should I operate from that? So, human rights, when you think about human rights,
Sure.
and like the way people are treated and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like don't kill someone. That's like a pretty universal law.
Right. Should we talk about this example here? Like
Sure.
It says lying is always wrong, even if it would save someone's life. So this Kantian stuff, I can't really get down with, I don't think.
At least on that example, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like lying, being honest is the way to go. But if it's going to save someone's life, of course you should lie.
I mean, there's a hierarchy of priority, I think, when it comes to, is it worse to lie or is it worse that person dies? Right? It's definitely worse if the person dies.
Right.
Like if you had a gun to, someone I love's head and you were like, say you like crepes, to quote Talladega Nights, and to save that person's life, I could be like, yeah, I like crepes.
Yeah, but you hate crepes.
Sure. I don't actually hate crepes. They're actually very delicious.
For example. Yeah, I mean, that just doesn't make any sense to me.
Sure. Some people would consider that a white lie,
sure.
But...
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about virtue ethics. Let's dive into some Aristotle. The core idea, focus on the kind of person you are, not just the action. Morality is about developing virtues. It's all about virtues, courage, wisdom, honesty, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
What would a good person do? What would Jesus do, etc.?
But I think the key there is how can you orient yourself to want to do that stuff? Like you have to build those virtues so you want to do good, right? Because then if you're just doing good because you think it's this or that, you're just virtue signaling. And then, it's hollow.
Okay.
Right. So I do like this idea of building the foundational, building blocks.
Right.
Courage, wisdom, honesty are the three examples there. Like those are
just being a virtuous person.
Sure.
Yeah. Like a virtuous person doesn't cheat.
Right.
Even if the outcome might be, I might ace this test, I might get into a better school, I might do well.
Right.
Whatever. Like I'm a virtuous person, so I don't cheat. I think I've operated from this in my life quite a bit.
I mean, but having poor virtues sets a bad precedent for later actions.
You're just not a good person, probably, if you're not, if you have no virtuous qualities. Like that's character. I think when we talk about character,
I agree with that.
Building character is better than building whatever.
Social contract theory.
Social contract theory.
This one really interests me a lot because it's a lot of the arguments, especially political arguments we have nowadays, are very much ignoring social contracts. And let me just kind of read what you had here. Morality and politics are based on a hypothetical contract people agree to for mutual benefit, right? So this kind of relates to utilitarianism in this idea that, we all agree to do this one thing so that it benefits the greater good. Right. And a great example of that is vaccines.
Yeah.
Right. Getting a vaccine is part of a social contract. That you have a driver's license. That's part of a social contract. I mean, a lot of these things have been written into law.
Yeah. Paying taxes.
Right. And a lot of times when people will argue points, they'll ignore this and think that, they're exempt from a social contract.
Yeah. I like the motto too. It's like you give up some freedoms to gain security and cooperation. Because imagine, you do give up some freedoms. You can't just drive without a driver's license. You can't just do whatever the fuck you want, because it does tie into the utilitarian, the greatest good for the greatest number of people. Like if it was just anarchy out there and there weren't these social contracts, it would just be chaos, man.
Yeah.
It would just be ugly.
Yeah. I think these social contracts attempt to keep our society kind of
a society.
Yeah. To the best of its ability, I would say.
Yeah. Let's talk about egoism, ethical egoism.
This one's interesting.
Yeah. The core idea is the right action is the one that advances your own self-interest. So the motto is look out for number one, and sometimes a lot of people do operate from the mindset, you got to take care of number one. And I agree with this.
Sure.
To some extent. Like, donating to charity only if it benefits your reputation or personal goals. That's an interesting example of this, right?
Yeah.
So,
do you think it would be considered ethical egoism if you say, I need to better my own mental health before I can involve myself in contributing to a partnership with like a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever?
yeah, if it advances your own self-interest, maybe you realize that, hey, I'm not going to be a good partner unless I take care of myself.
Sure. Yeah. Is that, I'm curious if it falls under this category though, because it's not only for your self-interest, right? It's kind of for the benefit of the relationship, which is
That's right.
tied into someone else's interest.
What's more important? If you're looking after number one, is it more important to you right now that you take care of yourself and get your shit right? Or do you just want to do you just want to have someone to share your life with and whatever, they can deal with my problems?
Sure. Yeah. And
So,
I'm sure different people have different answers to that question.
Exactly. Yeah. It's interesting though. Yeah.
I'm joking.
God bless you.
Oh, jeez. Got a couple more here. Care ethics. Morality is rooted in relationships, empathy, and caring for others, especially the vulnerable. Good examples are nursing, education, social work, feminist ethics. Good example, instead of a rule or utility calculation, a nurse makes a moral decision based on empathy and context. Now, we were kind of going over this example earlier, and this is an interesting one because it goes against, maybe some parts of utilitarianism or some parts of the social contract, right? And it's...
And the Kant stuff, rules. You
right.
know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I don't know, man. This one's tough because, sometimes I believe that these rules got to be in place.
Right.
But, it's like, say I'm on my deathbed and I'm in incredible pain or whatever. But, legally they can't take me off the life support. But all I want is just to die.
Right.
And the nurse is like, oh, I can't do it. It's against the rules. So now, but the empathy, like an empathetic, like the motto of care ethics is like, act with compassion and attention to specific needs. Like if that's what I want and the nurse is empathetic, she'll pull the plug.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that would be an example of care ethics, but it's just,
But then there's repercussions for her if she does that, right?
Right. So that's why some of these things are ethical debates. Like,
yeah, and I think it's so much of this one's interesting because, there's a lot up to like personal interpretation of your empathy, right? So one nurse might be like, I'm going to put him out of his misery, I'm going to pull the plug. But another nurse might be like, oh, well, you're in pain right now, but we're about to, maybe we could do something to help you, and maybe you would regret wanting to pull the plug early. You know what I mean?
They might think of that as murder. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And last but not least, man, we got existentialist ethics.
Core idea. Ethics comes from individual freedom, authenticity, and responsibility, not from systems or rules. Identity, authenticity. An example is you're free to define your own moral code, but you're also responsible for everything that comes with it. This is dangerous, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I think this can be dangerous, especially in today's day and age where people, I think people value freedom and stuff, but I think that you can radicalize anything. I think it's important. I think there's a fine line between, from the social contract all the way to the radical, freedom and stuff.
What's tough about this one is if you operate under this mentality, you can't a lot of times we see people like this expecting the rest of the world to fall in line with this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a very personalized one.
Right.
So
because this boils down to people protesting for human rights and stuff. Like that could be considered, this kind of ethics, I think.
How so?
It's individual freedoms. It's like a responsibility. Like here's the thing that not from system rules or whatever. So like say there was a point in time when women couldn't vote or something. That was like a rule.
Right.
And then people stood up and were like, this is fucking wrong because they developed their own moral code.
Sure.
And
okay.
then society progressed and etc. But yeah, I think this stuff's important, but there's always going to be people that just think differently. Like that's why
Right.
the utilitarian thing is almost the best thing for society,
Right.
because there's always like there's people that don't agree with every like you know.
Yeah. I think
These-
the best, in my opinion, the best philosophy is one that takes into account the one where it's like, you know, like you just said, people think differently, and like how do we like get the most benefit for the most people?
But what if the most people are total idiots, total bigoted idiots,
Sure.
right? So it's like one of those things where it's like, well, we're kind of cooked.
Yeah. It's like, do you want to benefit a society like that, or
Right.
you know, would you rather try to move towards a different society? It's like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
Let's get into some face-offs, man. I
Right or
think
wrong.
the first one is super simple. Is it okay to ever lie?
Right, right. This is kind of the Kant versus Mill thing, kind of the deontology versus utilitarian thing. Like obviously Kant said, no, even if you're going to save someone's life, it's not okay to lie. I think that's ridiculous. I think it is okay to lie. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Like what kind of lying are we talking about? If
Yeah.
it's like a white lie, do I look fat in this dress? Absolutely not. You know?
Yeah,
Of course you
Jesus
don't.
Christ. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the tough part is like with these face-offs, we kind of have to make up the context
Right.
because we don't have context with this. I mean, is it okay to ever lie?
Is it okay to lie under oath? If a person's
Fucking-
life's on the line.
I don't know, dude. I mean,
People that accuse people, defame careers,
sure.
you know, over nonsense allegations. Like you see
Yeah.
that happen. Like that's like criminal stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like if those people, I don't even know. I'm having trouble forming a thought on this, but
It's just like crazy to me that like, you know, obviously lying and stuff, there's like levels to that, but like you can literally you can ruin someone's life with a lie.
right.
Like that can happen. So like when it comes to the justice system and stuff, like how do we? It's almost like the judge kind of is like this person that like makes the call kind of how
Right,
wrong
man.
this is. Like it's just funny like how these people that we have in place are like the moral overlords kind of.
Right, but they themselves are subject to moral imperfection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right,
Getting
so-
paid off. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much corruption or room for corruption with a lot of this stuff. And I don't know. I definitely think it's not okay to lie under oath.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the whole point of that is so we can avoid awkward trials and shit like that. You know what I mean? So,
right. But great people lie every day.
right.
I'm sure you may have lied today about something.
Probably.
Maybe. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I mean, I think, is it okay to lie to people? Here's an example. Is it okay to lie to people, like to your friends or family, to make them feel better? Is that okay?
It depends. If the truth is a means to a better end, then no, it's not okay to lie. A good example, someone shows me, in my case, someone showed me a song and they're like, I'm thinking about putting this out. What do you think? Or I'm thinking about playing this at the show. What do you think? And, you know, it would be in my best interest to lie so that I can avoid an awkward situation, but it would be in their best interest to tell them the truth. If I'm like, I don't like, maybe if you're asking my opinion, like, I don't think you should do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that then it's not, it's okay to lie. I think if the truth is not going to hurt someone, like
Right.
I don't mean like hurt their feelings in the moment, but like actually hurt someone, right? Like
Right.
it's
Like being honest with them to help them,
right,
even if it hurts them a little bit, is a better outcome.
right.
Yeah.
But if someone,
I would rather someone be honest with me if it's like, ooh, that stung a little bit. But
that's what I'm
this
saying.
person's
But it
looking up.
benefits you. It's
Right.
it's for the greater good. It's like a utilitarian lie,
Right.
or sorry, it's the utilitarian truth. But
right.
you know, if someone is like, yo, man, do you want this apple? And I don't, but I'm like, yeah, sure. Because it's like, it doesn't fucking matter.
Right. So that's a good point too.
Yeah.
Like some things just don't matter.
I know that's a fine line to draw though.
How about the virtue thing, like Aristotle versus Rand here? Is selfishness a virtue or a flaw? I don't think you can call selfishness virtuous. However,
I don't
think it's a flaw either.
Yeah, I don't think selfish. I don't know. It's tough because they are using selfishness as a specific example. Do I think selfishness is a virtue? No.
Well, yeah. I mean,
but
I wouldn't consider it a virtue.
But it's like,
I wouldn't consider it a flaw either, because like having that ego, the ego ethics thing, like taking care of yourself, putting yourself first.
But is that different from being selfish? Selfish almost makes me it gives me this like selfish means like at the detriment of someone else. Right? Like if there was equal portions of food for us to survive, but I ate some of your portion, like that would be selfish because it harms you. But is it selfish to...
But what if it saves your life?
Then a selfish move saved my life. You know what I mean? I think it's still selfish, but that doesn't, you know.
So I was reading, it's funny, I was reading the other day about some of these people some of these men, some of these very rich men who were on the Titanic as it was sinking. And they were, you know, a couple of them could have easily bought their way onto some of these lifeboats or went with their wives, but they refused. And these are very wealthy people on this Titanic and stuff. And it could have been a very selfish act to take the spot of a woman or child,
right,
to live. But I think most of them were like, nope, I'd rather die.
Yeah.
You know, and even some of the wives were like, I'm not going out. I'm not going. If my husband's not coming, I'm not going. Like one of the wives jumped off. Like they died together. I think it was the owners of Macy's.
Oh, really?
That's why I was reading. Yeah, like the department store Macy's. Like,
that was crazy.
They died on the Titanic. Like
God,
the co-founders, maybe. Yeah.
I can't imagine dying out at sea, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, it suck.
Jumping in the water.
Hopefully the cold gets you before the sharks do.
Yeah. Hopefully the fear just makes me pass out. I'm just fucking dead.
But
that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. That just made me think of that. But I don't know, man. I think sometimes you have to be a little, I don't know, selfishness might not be the greatest word, but you have to take care of number one if you want to advance yourself in life.
Do you think self-serving and selfishness are the same thing?
Kind of, though, because like there's selflessness, which is like putting other people first.
Sure.
And a lot of people live like that. And it's like, it's praised as virtuous living. But how are you happy though? Like, I think you got to look in. If that makes you happy, then maybe it's selfish too. Because this makes me happy to put other people first. Like, so, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I feel like that would fall under like, I think this is the right term for it, but like false altruism, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or just like virtue signal. You know, people who only do good deeds because it makes them feel good, which like, I think feeling good from doing a good deed, it's like a byproduct, right? It's not the result. Like the result is that someone else is benefited.
Right.
And like that should be enough. Right.
I mean, I guess it goes into the ego ethics too, though. Like say you're a celebrity and you do all these charity things, but you're only doing them because is going to benefit your image.
Sure.
Or I used to do a lot of charity work in high school because I wanted to be in the National Honor Society. Because I thought it'd be good on my, college.
Right.
It's
a great example.
That was it is a great example, but that's really the only reason I was, going to do those things. I liked doing them. It made me feel good, but I wouldn't have done it just for the feel goods.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think what's also tough is you were, existing under a system that told you, hey, you should have this on your college resume to look good. Right. And so you, when you're young and impressionable like that, it's like, it's the same thing with like, you need to have this many AP classes or blah, 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 this and that. And I'm sure for some majors that matters, but like, if we're talking about a personalized thing, like it did not matter for me. And I stressed way too much about that stuff. And it's like, is it better to just not do it if you're going to do it for selfish reasons? But it's like, if you're doing it for selfish reasons, like someone is still benefiting from it.
Right.
But, it's almost selfish to even like think about all this, to be like who cares if it's selfish or not? Like someone's benefiting,
Right.
I don't know. It's weird. We can get like multiple layers of ethical dilemmas deep. The all-time classic.
Let's talk about some scenarios here.
The trolley problem. I'm glad we're doing this one first. This is such a classic moral and ethical dilemma question. And if you're not familiar with the trolley problem, let me read what we have written here. A runaway trolley is headed toward 5 people tied to a track. You can pull a lever to switch the trolley to a different track where only one person is tied. Here's the debate. Is it more ethical to actively cause harm to save more lives, or to refrain from action and let more people die? You want to go first?
Sure. Here's my thought. Like, I try to empathize and put myself in the situation, right? I'm on the trolley. I'm looking ahead. I see 5 people tied to the track. I could kind of turn my cheek and be like, oh, fuck. Maybe pretend I never saw it or whatever,
Right.
you know? But I see that if I pull the lever, there's going to be one person that dies, right? So, but in my mind, pulling that lever, I took an action that is going to kill that person.
Mm-hmm.
Now one person's dead instead of 5, sure, but I feel responsible for that one death. Whereas if I had just let the train run or the trolley run, I don't really feel responsible because I didn't do anything. You know what I mean? That's just kind of my thought. Would I pull the lever is the question. Yes, I would.
Sure.
I don't want 5 people to die. I'd rather one person die than 5 people die. That's just classic utilitarianism. But there would be a darkness in pulling that lever. Because
Sure.
there's an action that was taken. That's where the debate comes in. It's like you did something. I think. That's my thought.
Here's my opinion on it. I think the question is answered before the decision is made, because as soon as you have the knowledge that you can either kill 5 or kill 1, you ultimately become responsible. And to me, not pulling the lever is an action.
Interesting.
And
okay, yeah.
and that like don't think of it as an action, but think of it as a choice, right? Like you have a choice to make, and the choice is you can kill 5 people or you can kill 1 person. It doesn't matter if you pulled the lever, because if you were aware that it was going to kill 5 people and you consciously didn't stop that, to me, I would live with the same guilt had I pulled the lever and killed the 1 person, because it's like I could have done something to stop that.
Yeah.
And now 5 families are destroyed
mourning,
instead of 1. You know what I mean? It's like, so
this is a curveball I'm throwing at you now.
Okay.
All right. Somebody you know is that 1 person. 5 people you don't know.
Oof, that's tough. Who is it? Who's the person? What's the relationship?
A friend.
A friend? I don't know, man. I might still do it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like, is it selfish to just like save your friend? Because like we were talking about how we both think utilitarianism is great, right?
Right.
It's not very
To some extent.
utilitarian.
I'm not saying it's perfect.
Sure. But I don't know. It's like those 5 people are friends to someone.
Sure.
I don't know.
Like, that's where the ego ethics comes in. Like just gonna
Sure. It's like if you can completely detach your ego from it, then I don't think it would make a difference.
I think Aristotle would appreciate that. That'd be virtuous. Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know, man. If I walk to the front of the trolley and I see 5 people and then I see you on the tied up on the other side, I might let it ride. I don't know.
Really?
I don't want you to die, man. You're someone that's important to me.
I would understand though. Hey, pull the lever. It's cool, bro. Pull it.
I don't know. Anyways, it reminds me of the Dark Knight, man. The ferry scene where the Joker wires the 2 big boats with all the oil drums, and he gives the people. It's an incredible scene, and he gives the code to, like the detonator to blow up the other boat for each boat. So each boat has the detonator for the other boat. And, you know, on one boat is like just good citizens, and on the other boat is all the criminals that were like in the. So it's like, do we, and if they don't pull the trigger on either one, they all blow up at a certain time.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you remember that scene, but it's like neither of them pull it. It's very interesting. They go back, debate, they like vote there, and then they're kind of, as time goes by, they're like, they didn't pull the lever yet. They didn't. So it's like, it's kind of a cool experiment.
Yeah.
You know,
but in that, what's interesting is like in that instance,
Batman comes and saves the day.
Fuck yeah. But had he not, like, the lack of action results in everyone dying as opposed to just the 5 people dying, right?
Right. It's tough, man.
Yeah. It is, especially when it becomes someone you know.
Right.
You know.
Certainly. Let's dive into the experience machine. The scenario is you imagine a machine that can give you any experience you want. Any experience you want. That's crazy. Pleasure, success, love, while your body floats in a tank. Would you plug in forever? If not, what does that say about our values beyond happiness? So like you think of the Matrix when you think of this. The question is, I guess, if your current life turned out to be a simulation, would you want to unplug? Or would you say, who cares? I'm happy. Or say you have the opportunity to plug in. You're not happy or whatever. I'm just going to plug in and live in absolute bliss. Is that something you would do? I don't know. I think would the knowledge of knowing that you're living in a matrix make it not happy, or would it just, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, we have to define the word experience. Like, are you really experiencing something if it's just a simulation?
I mean, this could be a simulation.
Sure. So is this even an experience if that was the case? Or is it like...
It exists.
Is it like doing surgery, or is it like looking through the window watching someone do surgery? You know what I mean? It's like... Or is it like going to war or playing Call of Duty? You know what I mean? Like, that's like, a difference.
When I'm playing Call of Duty, I guess that makes sense, because if you're choosing to go into if you're choosing to go in. But I don't know. It's fucked.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
I
bro.
think.
I don't think. Man,
I don't know. I don't know if I would plug in forever, because it's like, eventually
I don't
you
think
gotta
I could plug in at all.
Yeah.
What if it's the most euphoric thing ever? You'd never want to come out.
That's the thing, and also it's like, eventually, the euphoria would lose its meaning if you had no bad. Like, if there's no bad things in your life, you don't appreciate the good stuff. Right?
I think the suffering in life makes the joy. If you have nothing to compare it to, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
There has to be an ebb and a flow. There has to be,
yeah.
You know what I mean? There has to be the high, and then there's the come down. Like, those things just, it has to be a spectrum. Like, so, yeah, I think you have a point there. I think you can't just plug in forever, and like, it just makes no sense from a physiological, whatever standpoint, unless you're just getting flooded with dopamine and you just can't.
Yeah, because eventually, how much dopamine are you going to need for it to feel good? Right. Or like,
maybe
it's just, almost like a drug. Like, the threshold goes up and up and up and up, and if like all you ever experience is this euphoria, like, maybe eventually does that become mundane?
Right. No, we'll say you plug in and it doesn't, and it's just always amazing.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know, man. I don't think I could. I don't know. It's just such a cheap way to go out.
Here's a question. Would you know that you were in a simulation and you were like,
I think that it
was a conscious choice to plug into this thing. You go, I know all of this is going to be a simulation, but I'm going to get the euphoria from it.
I wouldn't go.
I don't think I would do it either.
I don't think you could. How could you come back? First of all,
you just wouldn't, dude.
Yeah, and second of all, you would know it's fake, I guess, unless it wipes your fucking memory clean when you go in. I don't know. I feel like if what if you found out that this was a simulation? Would you want to unplug? Would you want to take the pill?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I've lived a pretty good life so far. If it was a simulation, I think.
What if you unplugged and then it was just like
a hellscape?
Yeah.
Oof. I don't know. I mean, can you plug back in?
I don't know.
I don't know, because that kind of contradicts like what I just said of like not wanting to plug in the first place.
Right, but we don't know we're plugged in. I think there's a difference there.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. And what if, even if it is a simulation, what if, I mean, this simulation, if it was one, is fair game, kind of. It's not total euphoria. It's suffering for the most part.
Dude. I mean, I'd say it's mostly suffering.
Yeah, it's mostly suffering. So,
yeah.
Play ball.
That's fucking great. This guy knows ball.
Let's jump to the next one here. Organ harvesting for the greater good is an interesting scenario. You could save 5 dying patients by killing 1 healthy person and harvesting their organs. The debate is, should we sacrifice 1 life to save 5? It's kind of a trolley problem in an organ kind of donor thing.
Sure.
What does that say about utilitarian ethics? I don't know if it's fair. I don't know if that's fair, man.
Well, I think just like everything else, like context really matters here.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I brought this up at the dinner table.
Right.
I was like, if you were 80 years old and healthy as an ox, say you had great organs, hypothetically, and there were 5 children that needed your organs and they would survive, they would live. You were kind of like, I mean, I won't speak for you. You can speak for yourself.
I mean, I would do that, especially if I was 80, dude. It's like,
What if you're 70? So you had 30 good years left. Your grandkids, you want to see them grow up. You're telling me you would take...
But you got to imagine, like, you're living with the guilt of knowing you could have done something and didn't. You know what I mean? I think it falls into the selfishness thing. Listen, if I was 40, maybe not. But if I was, like, old, maybe. You know what I mean? It's a tough question. I'm not saying it's not an easy answer by any means.
Certainly, like if I was at the end of my life, like yeah, that's something that I would consider. But there's no way I'm going now for 5 people I don't know. Like also, like to some extent, like y'all, like unless it was like some crazy disease or something, like if it was just people that chose to be unhealthy their whole lives, then it's like you made your choice, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's another factor.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, context really matters here. If they're like, hey, man, you've had 80 great years and these 5 children have fucking stage 10,000 bone cancer, but like you have the thing that can cure them. Like, are you going to do it?
I mean, maybe actually. Now that I don't know. And if my life was like, I lived a good life, maybe that would bring me a lot of peace. Maybe I'd have I'm going to have 1 week where I rip it up, jump out of planes all day and then get me out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean,
I don't know.
Sometimes like,
I think that has to be up to the healthy person, though. You can't just go whacking healthy people to save 5.
Sure, yeah. I mean, there's definitely a choice here, but it is very utilitarian to be like, I lived a good life. I'm not really contributing much to life anymore aside from like my relationships with my loved ones. And, these people deserve a chance. So.
Okay, how about this? Is it ethical to say it's a prehistoric civilization, whatever, and there's 5 people that are sick, and then they just kind of, in the middle of the night, sneak up on the healthy dude and carve him up?
You're asking, is that ethical?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Because
technically, from a utilitarian standpoint, it might be.
I think that's stretching because, okay, let's bring in some other factors. Like, what's the greatest good for the most people? Think about the precedent that sets of what people are allowed to do or can get away with should they be sick. All of a sudden, you potentially have a bunch of people thinking it's okay to do that.
Well, maybe what if they all came together and decided, like, without this person, like the leader of the tribe or whatever, was like, hey, I don't want to do this, but this is going to save our tribe, keep our tribe stronger. If we lose this one life, we're going to have 5 people that are going to return to strength, can hunt, can gather, can whatever. Is this something we should do, guys? And everyone's like, yeah. He's kind of a dick anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. That's tough. It's like
playing devil's advocate, but
yeah. And I mean, this is the conversation to do it. Like that is a really tough one. That is a really tough one. I will say, especially if, like you said, if that guy's a dick, not contributing anything, and these other 5 people, it's like, it's just tough because he didn't have a choice. Like in the trolley problem, like neither party had a choice. It's the person driving the trolley that had the choice, right? There's a third party. Right. And with this one, it's like, is it ethical to kill him? No. Is it ethical to...
I would argue that it's exactly like the trolley problem, actually.
How so?
Because I would think of this one guy as the one guy on the track, and the 5 are the other guy. So you could either pull the lever and whack him.
And is the society, like all the people deciding, maybe is the person pulling the lever?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Okay, that's a fair point. I don't know. It's just... I don't know. It feels it feels different than the trolley problem.
It does feel different. It feels, the example that I gave was like, we're going to sneak up on him in the middle of the night.
Sure.
It's kind of fucked, but
if like someone was, if someone had to die, then yes, it's more ethical to kill the one guy than the 5.
Right.
But in this scenario, like no one really has to die. I mean, I guess
5 people are on their deathbed.
It's just a different vehicle of death, right? It's like, you know, what if the one person on the track could save the 5 by like volunteering? But that's not the problem, right? They don't get a choice in the trolley problem, and that's why the trolley problem's fucked. Is like neither party has a choice. It's the person driving it. But I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's unethical. I think it's unethical to just kill them without their consent. I don't know. That's weird because it totally contradicts my answer on the trolley problem. Like I totally acknowledge that.
Yeah,
but it's like it's just contextual, man.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of ethics is in general. Let's hit this next one. AI consciousness and rights. This is I love AI, man. I love talking about AI, and like, you know, Ex Machina is like one of my favorite movies, and I definitely want to do an episode for this podcast, like where we really talk about AI a lot. But let's talk about this briefly. Scenario: a conscious AI expresses suffering and desires freedom. Debate: should AI have rights? Can consciousness exist without biology? First of all, like understanding, like determining if the AI is conscious or not. Like, have you heard of the Turing test and stuff? It's basically a test. So. They talk about it in Ex Machina. It's basically the dude invites the guy over to the place to test the AI.
It's like if he could tell if it was AI or not?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like, that's kind of the test. But
so if it passes the test, it means it was good enough to fool the person.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So should AI have rights? Can consciousness exist without biology? It's a very interesting question. Is it ethical if a conscious AI expresses suffering and desires freedom? What do you do?
Weird, dude. Because I think a knee-jerk answer is to be like, fuck that, AI doesn't have rights.
Right.
And I think you have to talk about like the means of creation, right? Like the human race, very different means of creation, like through evolution and stuff like that, than, you know.
I think when we talk about, you know, being alive, being conscious, like stuff like that, it's hardwired to think biology. Like this is life. This is what life is. You know what I mean? Like we don't consider computers to be alive. Like, but it, you know, I mean, like we kill animals we kill conscious beings all the time. Like it's, you know, these things have it's painful. They like have feelings. They feel love. They feel, you know, and stuff. So this is a tough question, man, because, you know, when I think about it, especially when I think, if you haven't seen Ex Machina, it's a killer movie, man. But he like essentially falls in love with the girl, like the AI girl. And
here's my question about it. Like the way in that example, right, where there's this super advanced AI humanoid thing, if the way our brains work and the way the computer and that thing's head works, like obviously it's different, but like is the computational aspect of it the same? Like the way in which we make decisions based on data and experience and stuff like that, like can you manufacture that to be just as real as the way an actual human brain works?
Say you built whatever, an AI computer, whatever, that it was almost like it had like nerve endings, and it could, like, you know, make these, who knows?
Like microchips, nerve endings,
Replicate
like if you translate it, right? Like translate the human brain into, you know, mechanical form, and it's like you would get that computer, right? Like I don't know, because then it's also like, well, do these things dream? Do they have to rest?
Right.
Like there's so much more to.
I agree, but I think like if you strip away all that, and it's like, can this conscious robot feel pain? Can it feel?
Right.
So is it like, what if it's devastated and it just wants to live a normal life? It just wants to go get a job, whatever. I think the reason you say no is because you were scared of what it could do.
Sure. But, like, what is its capacity for harm?
Yeah, exactly. And like, what are its motives and stuff? And, you know, but like, man,
Well, what is feeling, right? What kind of, physiological response and biological response, what chemicals are released in your body that we call feelings, right? Like, how does that equate to a computer?
I don't know.
Or is it just emoting a feeling because of a set of data?
Right,
It knows it's supposed to do
right,
that, right?
Right.
And at that point, is it tricking you?
I'm sure, yeah, maybe.
And if it knows, like, how to move its face,
maybe what if it becomes conscious somehow? Like, I think it's a very
Sure.
interesting concept. Like, it just, maybe it thinks it is conscious and it begs and pleads, please. You never know. I don't know.
Right.
It's very scary, man.
That's
I think
the thing.
Scary shit.
It's almost as much of a debate as, like, is my red the same as your red? Like, how the fuck are you going to know?
Right.
Because you can't get in the head of that thing.
No.
And
like the AI, like, man, I'm excited to dive into singularity and stuff. But let's leave this one alone for now. This one's heavy.
Yeah,
man.
we kind of need to do a whole episode on this one.
This one's heavy. Let's talk about the ship of Theseus. So the scenario is, if you replace every part of a ship, is it still the same ship? How do we define identity? Over time, change, and continuity. If you replace every cell in your body over time, which we do, are you still you? What makes you you? I think if you replace every part of the ship, man, it's like if I renovate my entire house, it's still the same house. Like,
right. Sure.
It's like
well, define it, right? Like, what makes a house and what makes a house a home? And, like, for you, like, if you replace every cell in your body, it's still you, because you still have the same personality traits. You still have the same tendencies, this and that. The only thing, like, the physical part of you is different, but the emotional and behavioral part is not.
Right, but but I think people can change in those respects too.
Sure.
So like how do you define identity? Well, I think we've been asking ourselves that for as long as we've been around. I don't know. Certainly not your name.
No, I mean,
your name.
I would say it's more so in the realm of, like, how you treat others and what you contribute to the world, and what you've chosen is your path, or it's like an amalgamation of things. It's not just one thing.
Right.
And so,
I mean, you do replace every cell in your body over time, hopefully.
Right, but would your personality still change even if you didn't do that? Like, yes.
Maybe.
Right. Yeah. So it's
maybe.
like, are those things?
Maybe if I change my diet and now every cell, you are what you eat, right? So like every cell in my body is now functioning at a higher capacity. I feel better, so I'm more energized. I'm happier. The way I interact with people changes. Maybe I got more energy. I got more life in me and more passion. Like, now people don't even recognize Gil because he's feeling electric. I don't know. That's just an example. But I don't know. If you replace every part of the ship, bro, it ain't the same shit.
That's what I'm saying. It's different because it's not a fucking conscious being.
Right. I think that's just an example. But yeah, I mean.
But it is a good example.
But if slowly over time, say the ship is the Big Kahuna. That's the name of the ship, right? And over time, you replace every part of the ship. Every part just needs a little tune-up or whatever. New part. Now every part of the ship over 25 years is completely different. But we still call it the Big Kahuna.
Right.
And it still feels like the same ship. I don't know.
Because it's here. Okay, I'm going to flip here. Like, I do think it actually is still the same ship, because the way in which that ship interacts with and relates to the world has not changed. Right. It's still the same ship that gets you from fucking this beach to wherever.
Maybe it's how other people identify it too. Maybe that's a factor involved.
Like,
too.
what's its legacy? What's its vibe? Right.
Yes.
Like,
everyone else still considers it the Big Kahuna.
Right.
So maybe it is the Big Kahuna.
Yeah. Because it's still doing the same shit that the original Big Kahuna did.
Right.
And it's also like, if all the parts are changed at the exact same time, then is it the same ship? Or if things are slowly replaced over time?
That's a really good point. I think if everything's replaced at the same time, new ship.
Sure.
You might even have to change the name.
Right.
But over time, I feel like it's still...
Because it just feels like improvements. Right. Like small improvements here and there. Whereas if you change every part of the ship, it doesn't like...
I think that's a good metaphor for being a person. If you changed every aspect of yourself, you would almost be unrecognizable, right?
Right.
But if you slowly over time level up, whatever, even, or you deteriorate,
Sure,
over time,
people will just begin to know you that way.
Right, exactly.
But it's still Sean Gill.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, next up we got moral luck. Here's our scenario. 2 people drive drunk, one gets home safely, the other one hits and kills someone. Our debate is, should they be judged the same morally since they made the same choice? Although the outcomes were different. What are your thoughts on this?
This is one of those weird things where, both people made the wrong choice, but one is going to live with it. One's not going to, no one's going to know, kind of. It's like one of those things. Like, it's like, you just don't do these things because of that, the worst possible scenario.
Yeah, you're trying to avoid this dilemma.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, they're not going to be judged the same way, obviously.
Right, because that's not how the society's judicial system works.
Right.
Like, one's going to be tried with fucking vehicular manslaughter.
Yeah. And the other one's, no one's, going to know. I mean, obviously they're not going to be judged this morally. Fuck.
Yeah, we're talking about morally judging them, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're not going to be judged the same in court, obviously.
Yeah.
But
So, like, let's leave the court out of the
yeah.
equation. I think with that, it kind of gets a little far from the point.
Yeah, and like from a moral perspective, like they both are in the wrong. Like they're both wrong. Like it's the wrong thing to do either way. Even if you get home safe driving drunk, you did the wrong thing.
Yeah, you just got lucky.
You got lucky. Yeah,
there's like an element of luck to this
for sure.
Yeah, I absolutely think that they should be judged the same morally.
Yeah,
and just one of them was just lucky, and the other one was not.
Right.
And someone was really unlucky.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, this happens every day.
Yeah,
someone gets killed because of someone doing stuff like this. That's just kind of where I stand on this one. I think we can move on.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. I don't really. I mean, I don't really have anything else.
Animal rights versus human interests scenario. Testing a cure for a deadly human disease requires using thousands of lab animals. The debate: are human lives more valuable? Where do we draw the line? You think like Planet of the Apes. I don't know if you've seen that documentary Blackfish. It's
no,
about
not yet.
It's about SeaWorld and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, fuck. I think it's like the ethical egoism. Like human life, we're always going to value. We've climbed to the top, and like we're far more intelligent, and so like we're clearly going to value we're going to put the human race first. Right. So like it benefits us. It benefits the greatest number of people for us.
Right.
But obviously a lot of animals lose their lives, and it's kind of shitty. It's a shitty byproduct of taking care of the human race. Like we're not going to test our own people. I mean, we certainly have in some scenarios, but are human lives more valuable? From a Buddhist perspective, probably not.
Right.
But
I mean, like, here's the question: like, what gives it value?
It's a good
right?
question.
Like, why do humans think we're the most valuable lives? Because I think it's safe to assume that a lot of people probably think that way.
For sure.
And why? Is it because we built fucking buildings? Like, so what? In the grand scheme of the fucking universe, none of that matters. So
I think it's the law of nature, man.
What do you mean, like
we are the apex predator? Yeah, we're the fittest.
For sure. And I think, but where do you draw the line? You know what I'm saying?
I think unnecessary, inhumane treatment of other lives is wrong.
Right.
Part of me thinks that like using lab animals like mice and stuff to cure disease is like almost, it's just kind of a necessary thing. If there was other ways to do it, like let's keep the mice alive. Let's
it's like a moral sacrifice we're making. Understand that we're doing something wrong in order to greater benefit our species.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I stand on it. Like obviously, like when it comes to certain things, the testing for the diseases is an example. Like we mistreat animals in so many ways. Like the food system, like, zoos, like, like a whale should not be in a tank that size. Like it's ridiculous. It's just criminal, man. It's awful. It's sad. These are very intelligent beings.
If you really do think about it, like next time you're at a zoo or an aquarium, it's like it's like at the risk of sounding woo woo about it, like it's a fucking prison, dude.
It is,
like
bro.
these animals should not be in here.
Oh,
And
you seen that Louis C.K. bit where he's talking about, Daddy, what is he saying? I'm a slave.
I don't know if I've seen that.
The
one.
walrus. Oh man, it's like funny because it's true, man.
Yeah, well, it's so stupid that we have them, and it's like, for what? For fucking human entertainment?
Yeah.
Go look up a picture of a fucking giraffe. Like
into the wild. Like I know it's dangerous to go into the wild, but like, I know people can't really afford that for the most part. But
I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't bring me any joy to watch animals in cages.
Yeah, it's like these animals are suffering at the cost of shallow human entertainment.
Right.
And it's just, I'm like kind of shocked they're still around. And they're just fucking pointless, dude. It's really stupid.
I mean, I imagine I imagine 50 years from now, 100 years from now, like either many animals will be extinct because we just do this kind of stuff, or we're going to get more people are going to be like, fuck that. And like those things will just go out of business. Like people just don't care.
It's unfortunate. Like those, businesses and they employ a lot of people, right? And they do a lot of good, right? There is a lot of, here's an ethical dilemma. Do you think human intervention in the natural way of the world, right? Like species going extinct, this and that. Do you think human intervention is ethical?
It's a great question. I kind of believe in the no interference policy in nature.
Yes.
However, we did this to some of these species. You know what I mean?
That's what I was going to say. I think it's really good when we're protecting species from the human race.
Right. Like tigers, I think the tiger is one of the most beautiful animals on the planet. And like, I think trying to protect the tiger and trying to bump the tiger numbers up is a good thing. Because like the reason the tigers are going extinct is because of us. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't know, but like in general, like if a tiger's going to eat, a couple animals, like don't interfere with the tiger eating, like to save the couple animals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I remember I saw a video or something, or there was this penguin. There was these guys photographing penguins, and one of them was just gonna die. And like usually they obey by the non-interference policy, these photographers and stuff, but I think they went and saved the penguin, which I think is cool. If it's like an easy layup, it's a layup to save that penguin.
Sure.
Why not save the penguin, man?
Right.
Like, I don't know. I really enjoy talking about the zoo thing. I love like Planet Earth and stuff. And like, is it ethical to go and get into those environments and video and photograph these animals? Like, is that ethical?
I think so, because if it's
as long as it's not invasive, I think
yeah,
so
and if it's about awareness too,
right.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of those things are in an effort to get people to stop over hunting, over fishing, or like knocking down forests and stuff like that. So I think it's ethical if it's like a means to a greater good, but a zoo, not so much.
Yeah. Let's talk climate ethics and future generations. Today's actions drastically shape the planet for people 200 years from now. Debate. Do we have moral obligations to people who don't exist yet?
Yeah.
I think we do.
100%, because we are benefiting from, some ways we benefit, some ways we don't, but from the actions of people however many years ago, right? And obviously there's so much systemic stuff in place that nuances this quite a bit.
Right.
Because like a lot of times people will do things and not everyone benefits from it. Right. Or people will do bad things and only some people are harmed by it. But on a general note, I absolutely think we have an obligation to, especially in this case, take care of our planet so that future generations can have a home.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. I think of, when you think of your children and you think a parent wants to see their kids happy. That's a parent's goal. Like, how do you think your children as grandparents will be if you're great grandchildren? Like, should we be making big sacrifices today to protect people who won't be born for another century? I think it comes down to what you said. I think it's about taking care of the planet as like the main goal. And I think things will work itself out.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I think we're starting, the last 50 years, we've started to like realize, okay, we got to be more conservative with things and, renewable energy.
There's definitely a lot more awareness, whether we're putting it into practice or not is a whole different question. But, I don't fucking understand how anyone could argue this one.
Yeah.
So I don't have much else to say on it.
Lying to protect feelings.
We
You
kinda
dislike
touched
your
on
friend's
this one.
art. You dislike your friend's art, but they ask for your honest opinion before a big show. Is it ethical to lie to avoid hurting someone? Does kindness outweigh honesty? This is kind of, we mentioned this a little earlier, but you talked about mentioning, hey, this should I do this song or whatever? It's
I don't think lying is being kind. I think that's like very shallow kindness.
Yeah.
I think that
it's more, I think, to protect your friend's feelings.
Right. But if they ask for your honest opinion and you don't give it to them, like, what kind of friend are you, man?
Right. That's kind of where I stand. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta. A real friend, I think, will appreciate honesty like that.
Yeah.
Even if it's like, ow.
100%.
Maybe like a true friend will be like, dude, I haven't seen you in a while. You look like crap, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you look like crap.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, are you good? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because I think a real friend would want you to want shit to be ironed out. They don't want to, because when you lie, it's like people just continue to do that thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's a huge ethical dilemma in the music world is like, if people are really bad, how long do you encourage them for? Like, so you know what I'm saying? Like, like, listen, I don't want to sound gatekeepy. I don't want to sound preachy or like I'm saying people have to pay their dues. But I had plenty of people when I was younger to me tell me that I was fucking bad, like to my face. And it fucking really hurt in the moment. But it really helped build a lot of my character as someone who's pursuing a creative field. And I don't know. I'm just like, I'm glad that people did, because it either...
They called you bad?
Yeah, sometimes they were like, yeah, it's not it, dude. They're like, it's not good.
Okay.
Which is like...
I don't know if that's constructive, but...
It's... No. Sometimes it was, sometimes it wasn't. Like, it's contextual. But I think if something is bad and people are just allowing it, I don't know. It's tough because
it is tough because
you don't want to sound gate. You don't want it to be gate kept, right? But you also like, are people just like, I don't know. Like, when is it time to throw in the towel? I don't know. But like, who am I to say that?
Or maybe change things up, like go a different lane with it.
Sure.
Stay in that avenue.
Right. You know, as their friend, is it your moral obligation to be like, listen, this shit ain't working.
Right.
Maybe try this.
Yeah.
I think if you do it to like put them down and be like, you suck, like stop, I don't think that's helpful.
No.
Or good. I think it's good to be like, hey man, this isn't it. Like, let's explore some other solutions. Sure. Like, it should be like a yes and kind of thing.
Right.
I don't know. That's a weird one, man.
Yeah, that's tough. Last but not least, the problem of evil. If God is all powerful and all good, why does evil exist? Can religion and ethics coexist in the face of suffering?
Interesting. This is
natural disasters, kids getting cancer. A lot of people always say that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think when we talk about the God thing, like, I was reading the philosophy textbook earlier. I kept my philosophy textbook, and it was talking about, you can't just, existence doesn't just happen out of nowhere. Like, something had to create something for something to exist, right? Or to some extent, that was kind of the idea, I think. But I don't know if what did you say earlier? You were kind of like talking about the blip. I think, I don't know if goodness can exist without evil. I think there has to be like...
Sure. Yeah, that's totally fair.
Like,
I think that people lumping in bad things with God's power is like, I don't agree with that.
Right.
I think, but to answer what you just said or what you just asked, I was talking like all these things that we deem so tragic, right? Natural disasters, fucking a house floods or whatever. It's like, these in our very tiny human perspectives are really bad for us and for our feelings and our families and stuff like that. I mean, it ruins people's lives, but in the grand scheme of the universe and how long it's been around, like, and the human existence currently is just a fucking blip in
Right,
it.
right. You know what I just thought of too? I want to get this out of my head real quick. Is like if there weren't those things that happen, those suffering things, a lot of times that's the catalyst for goodness. You know what I mean? Like people coming together to whatever rebuild a city that got wrecked by a hurricane. Or find a cure for this. Like I think that's God working right there. It's the goodness of, So I think there has to be that to have that. You know what I mean? So like whether you I don't know if that's the devil personified or whatever.
People call it a bunch of different things, man. I don't think God does bad things. I think God is there with you in bad moments.
Right. That's a great
it's all of this is just perspective, man, and how you look at stuff. And if you want to fucking believe that like there's this God that fucking gets off on giving kids cancer, like I don't agree with that.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. I think that's silly, but
yeah.
It's just one man's opinion.
All right, brother. That was fun, man.
Woo!
That was fun.
I gotta go like let the drool out of my mouth.
I'm gonna need another cup of tea after that.
Oh, brother.
Anyway, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Trash night. It's always a good hang.
Trash night.
Still a good hang.
Still a good hang, dude. Bang! Oh, I can't lean up too far. Good shit.